So how you doing?
Not bad.
How's everything going out there?
Pretty good.
Good, that's good. We're just so busy, it's sick. I swear, we locked out a studio for a month there,
Right.
at Red Zone in Burbank, and we've just been literally doing like between 17 and 20-hour days there, coming home and sleeping for 5 or 6 hours and going back in because we're really, working really, really hard on this record. We're trying to make something that's very, very, very above average as far as, the time we're spending in the studio.
Right.
And tweaking everything out and getting everything just the way we want it.
Right.
So how's everybody at Kiss Klassics?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's going good.
So anything new up? Anything exciting?
No, nothing really. Nothing too much is going on. Seems like everybody's in the studio right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of, there's really not many people out on the road right now.
Right.
It looks like a big studio time as far as, if you look around in all the magazines and stuff, there's not much coverage on many bands playing live right now.
Right, yeah.
Most of the people are doing records or about to do a record, or they just got done doing a tour.
Right, yeah. Yeah, Kiss goes in the studio down by you guys soon, too.
Oh, yeah, they're I think Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley were just in Cherokee doing demos.
Right.
About a month and a half ago, because a roommate of mine, a girl that lives with me, works at Cherokee on the desk, and she was telling me that they were in there working on some demos and stuff.
Right. Getting
ready to go in and do a full length, I guess.
Yeah. They said they're going to go in about June.
Oh.
Mid-June, something like that.
Yeah, so we're hoping to finish up. Well, we blocked out a month at a place called Red Zone in Burbank. We got it from the 1st to the 31st of this month.
Right.
We're hoping we can at least have it tracked. In other words, have everything on the tape in that time. Plus, we had like a week in April that we started with the drums and stuff. So we had the drums done the first week of April. And this whole month we're doing like bass, all the guitar. I got like 3/4 of the guitar done already.
Right.
And then Mark's going to start on some vocals, and we have some keyboards and some other stuff to put in over the top, just like some icing parts and stuff like that.
Right.
Because it's not going to be like keyboard oriented at all. We just put little pieces in here and there to fill in.
Right.
Some good sounds and add some good texture to the record.
Right.
So we're hoping it'll be tracked by the 31st, and we're going to take 2 or 3 weeks out of June to mix the record.
Right.
Which hopefully will either be Steve Thompson and Mark Barbiero or someone very good to mix the record. We're going to try to hire someone else to mix the record.
Right.
We're tracking it ourselves. We've got Andy Chappell engineering, and Dane is doing most of the production.
Right.
And Mark's been helping out a lot, too. He's really getting it down as far as the studio goes.
Right, yeah.
We've been having a good time. I hauled in about 8 Marshall heads, all really good ones, and we just checked. We went through every head until I found the one that was perfect,
Right.
All these cabinets, and we had, like, at least 15 different kinds of guitars.
Right, yeah.
Mostly of which Les Pauls that I used for the record. I used a 55 Black Beauty Les Paul for about 85% of the rhythm tracks.
Right, yeah.
Had a really good sound, so it's really happening. I don't know. Have you gotten a chance to hear any of the demo stuff that we did?
No, I didn't.
No. So you're going to have to come out here sometime. We're going to have to get you out here.
Right.
And hear some of this before it's done. It's like, whew, it's very big.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
The drums are thumping. Do you come out to L.A. often?
Sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah, sometimes. Not
all the time. Let us know. We talk with the band and see what our schedule's like, And,
right.
And maybe if you're coming out here, that would be great. We could get together too and do lunch or something.
Yeah. What's some of the titles again on the album?
Okay. The ones I'm going to mention are ones that I definitely know will be on the record.
Right.
Okay. Burning Bridges.
Right.
Desperately.
Uh-huh.
Fly to the Angels.
Right.
Let me see. What else would be on the record? Up All Night.
Uh-huh.
Eye to Eye.
Right.
Spend My Life.
Right.
Let me think. What else would be? I Gave You My Heart.
Uh-huh.
Which is like a love song, ballad.
Right.
Aiming towards the radio. And let's see. What other song will we put on there? Let me think. This is a hard one because we recorded 16 songs.
Right.
And what we're going to do basically is the ones I mentioned to you are ones we've already picked, and then whatever's left, we're going to pick out of what's left from them.
Right.
And then the ones we're not going to use, we're either going to put for soundtracks for movies because we've gotten some offers.
Right, yeah.
A few soundtracks and stuff. And the other ones we're going to either save for the next record or, possibly work with other bands in writing. Because Dane and Mark are right now, getting into that where they might be writing for other bands as well as this project.
Right, yeah.
Because they're starting to come up with some really good material, so they figure, they might get a publishing deal and start something with other bands as well as what they're doing with us.
Right.
So it's going great. We're hoping that this record can be released by August 15th.
Right.
If for some reason that we feel they're not ready to have this record out and we feel they're not going to do it enough justice, we will hold it till January if we have to.
Right, yeah.
We hopefully would not have to do that, but due to the record company we're signed to's history of the way they do things,
right,
it's not something that is we can rule out at this point.
Right.
If it comes time and it seems that we feel they're not ready for it, we will hold it because we feel we have a strong album with good material on it. We don't want it to get passed up.
Right.
We want the timing to be just right for it because it's going to to have the most impact and stuff like that. So we're really looking forward to it. We're all really excited. Mark's going to start laying some vocals here in another week or so.
Right.
And basically that's all that's going on.
How'd you get together with Mark and stuff?
Yeah, he told me that he was going to call you sometime this week. And I told him to make it a point because he's been there every day, all night, you know what I mean?
Right.
He's been just so busy. I mean, I'm not trying to make excuses for him. This is, it's just facts. He's just been just disgustingly busy,
Right, yeah.
And Dana, forget about it. That guy can't even breathe these days.
Wow.
'Cause he's got, he's wearing a few different hats right now.
Wow.
He's being the producer and he's also kind of being an engineer in a way,
Right.
playing bass,
Yeah.
and he's taking care of a lot of the business, the business end, and dealing with the lawyers and our manager. And
right.
Our manager, by the way, is Bud Carr, who manages Kansas.
Right.
And he was an agent before he was a manager.
Wow.
So he's a real good guy.
You have a publicist too?
Well, we had Deb Rosner, and things just didn't work out with her for we just decided to move on,
Right.
And we're right now, I think they were talking about possibly going with the company that does Whitesnake and Motley Crue.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what they're called. I forget their name.
Wow.
But this was just as of the other day, tentatively. It's not a definite thing yet, but we'll let you know as soon as we get the new publicist.
So how'd you get together with Mark and Dana?
It's a very long story. Well, actually, they auditioned 700 guitar players, and they had already had it narrowed down to about 4 guys before I came along. What happened was I didn't even have a picture or a resume or a tape done up or any of that. Basically, my roommate Beth, that I mentioned, works at a studio. It was her birthday party, and I was having a birthday party for her, and I bought a keg of beer, and we grilled out over in the park next to my house, and I was grilling chicken and stuff. And Beth's friend Maureen is good friends with Mark Slaughter.
Right.
So she invited him, and he came down, and I started rapping with him about, guitars and amps and guitar rigs and setups and different effects and different things that I like. And he was real interested in my conversation, so we were talking and talking and talking. And he said, yeah, did you know we were auditioning guitar players? And I said, yeah, but I really had no intention of even auditioning because at the time I was in a club band,
right.
just doing local gigs around town and stuff. So I didn't really even think of auditioning for the gig for some reason, just because I don't know why. It didn't even enter my mind. So later on that afternoon, we went back into my house, and the bass player who was in the band that I was in put a tape in and said, yeah, this is a tape of Tim and his brother, because I did some tapes with my brother. He plays keyboards and sings.
Right.
And I did some lead and stuff on this tape, and it came right in on the lead, and Mark said, is that you playing? And I said, yeah. And he said, hey, why don't you come down and check this out, blah, blah, blah. So over the next few days, I went down, I brought a guitar and an amp down to Cherokee where Dana was, and I just played for him,
Right.
And he just looked at me, and he looked at Mark, and he says, this could be the guy, I said, really? You think so? I was kind of like, because it was freaking me out, because I really didn't even, expect to audition, let alone to have them happy about it,
Right, yeah.
And they said, wow, you got a good rap, because I'm from Philly, so I'm kind of pushy,
Right.
I got the aggressive edge to me. Like everybody out there, how everybody is, they're not afraid to talk to people,
Yeah, I know.
Just go up and make friends with anybody,
Yeah.
So he liked that a lot and stuff, and then we started talking, and he knew I was really, really hungry. I really wanted a gig, and I really wanted to do something. So he said, look, come by the house, and we want to see what you're writing like and what kind of style you want to play in, and we'll talk to you about what we're trying to do. So we got together and talked, and then we started working on material. They had some material ready, and then we also put some material together.
Right.
Over a 2 or 3 week period, and then we decided we were going to go in, and we did those demos. We did a 6-song and an 8-song demo, total 14 songs.
Right.
And and those songs ended up turning out so well that we decided we were going to use them for the record, and basically we're doing all those 14 plus 2 new ballads that Mark and Dana had written from before that they wanted to put on. So altogether we're recording 16 songs.
Right.
And that's basically how it went down. And I still to this date haven't given them, I didn't have to give them any kind of a, major portfolio or tape or pictures or nothing.
Right.
It just happened out of a freak thing, and they decided that I was the guy, just at the last minute, and they told the other 4 guys that they had all ready to go, that sorry, we found our guy.
Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And then, and then as time went on, things just started working out, and then they got Bloss, the drummer. He was on the scene too already, and he's from Texas.
Right.
And he was a friend of Bob's and stuff, so he fit right in, and his playing style is very similar to Bob's.
Right.
And he's got the chops and stuff and the looks, and he's a very, very good showman. He's a very showy looking drummer.
Right. Yeah.
And he hits real hard and stuff. He's a thrasher for sure,
Wow.
He's a real killer drummer. So we're really looking forward to it. We can't wait to play live. It's kind of frustrating, we're like penned up in the studio and we can't even like kick it out, but hopefully here in another month or 2 we'll have some time so that we can get a studio place going, a rehearsal hall going, and start opening it up, and playing loud and stuff. So
right.
But everything's going really, really well. We can't complain.
Was all the material
buzz? There's a tremendous buzz
right.
going around about the material. I mean, everyone's ecstatic about it. Other record labels are like really into it,
Right, yeah.
And our label's really behind it now. They're really, we haven't been having any problems with them as far as getting money for studio time and all that stuff. Everything's going real smooth.
Right, yeah.
So we're all real happy.
Was all the material written by Mark and Dana, or did you write anything? Or
yeah, actually, they wrote, I would say, a good 85% of it, and then when I came in, I helped with a song, with one whole song, and I wrote part of another song,
right.
a bridge to another song, and that was Eye to Eye was the song that it was basically a combination of me, Mark, and Dana.
Right.
I had some ideas, and they arranged them and made everything happen into a real good song.
Right.
And then Up All Night, I did the pre-chorus on that song. That was my idea and stuff like that. So I did bring some of me into it, besides the way I actually play, of course,
right.
because I'm playing all the guitar
right.
on the record, except for the exception of some acoustic and stuff, and a couple clean parts. I'm playing 95% of all the guitars for the whole record.
Right. Is Mark doing all the vocals?
Yeah, Mark's doing all the vocals except for the background vocals. We're all going to sing on the record for the
right.
background vocals.
Uh-huh.
And plus some. We're going to get some local LA rockers down there when we're ready for the backgrounds,
Right,
We
yeah.
always do that. You try to get as many people in there as possible for some of the big choruses and stuff.
Right.
So we're looking forward to it. We're going to be getting around to that probably like 3/4 of the way through this month. I would think about the 15th or 18th of this month we'll probably start working on some background vocal stuff.
How does this album compare? Is this real heavy, or is it going to be?
The best way to explain and describe this album is it's a cross between AC/DC Back in Black and Def Leppard's Pyromania.
Right.
The way I mean as far as Pyromania is because of the studio-ness of it and the blends and textures and production,
right.
not the actual songs.
Right, yeah.
Pyromania as far as the production goes, Back in Black as far as the raw material goes.
Right.
We got a lot of really bluesy, gritty, AC/DC, Zeppelin kind of things happening, but it's not something you could put your finger on. It's just something that, you can hear the influence.
Them groups must be really popular, because I'm just laughing because I did an interview with Eric Carr yesterday of Kiss, and he's writing 3 songs for the new Kiss album. And I go, how's your song sound? He goes, it sounds kind of like AC/DC meets Def Leppard and a little Led Zeppelin-ish. Just what you just said.
Oh my God.
I know, I'm saying, that must be hot bands.
Yeah.
So,
you'll agree when you hear the music. It's definitely, it's got a really fresh sound. It's really big. It sounds like a new band. I mean, you hear it and you say, wow, who's this,
Right.
Like right away. You can tell as soon as you hear it. It's very bright and sparkly, and it's polished, but yet it's got a hard edge to it,
Right, yeah.
It's 100% Marshall album. We use nothing but Marshall.
Right.
All the way around, all Marshalls, even for the bass.
Wow.
So
how's your style? Like, who's your influences?
My influences are probably Michael Schenker. As far as look-wise and stage movements, I'm a cross between Angus Young and Jakey Lee.
Right.
I'm kind of sleek like Jake, and I'm like hyper and spastic like Angus Young.
Right.
And as far as playing style goes, you can hear a little bit of Joe Satriani. You can hear some Michael Schenker.
Well, that's great.
Very bluesy influenced. I've got a lot of blues licks that I play,
right?
But in a metal kind of a texture.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see. What else can I say about my playing that I would consider? I'm not much of a hammer-on. I'm not into I do hammer-ons and stuff, but I'm not like a monster nut, you know. And I try to stay away from the total Yngwie speed playing trip.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to have my own identity and stuff. You know.
That's good.
And everyone out there these days, you know, I think I'm trying to play things people would appreciate. As far as I put a lot of feeling into my playing, and a lot of mood, you know, and I play from my heart. I'm not just just playing millions of notes.
Right.
You know. Not to mention any names, but I'm sure you can
right, yeah.
to what I'm talking about.
Right, yeah, I understand.
I'm trying to do something so totally different than what he was doing.
Right.
You know, that it's definitely gonna amaze a lot of people. I'm a little bit worried about going out there because of the fact that Vinny was a total noodle monster, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And that I have to go out there, and I just hope there's not expectations of me to play that way because, for one, it's not my style.
Right.
I mean, I can play fast, and I can play I can play harmonic minor and all that stuff, but I try to stay away from it.
Yeah, but I think that's one of the reasons why people did stay away from it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm hoping.
I think so, because even when I went to see him the 2 times, a lot of people were leaving in the middle of the show because they couldn't handle it.
Yeah, it was too much.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
I mean, that's why, most of the people I talked to didn't appreciate the first album.
Uh-huh.
It was too much.
Yeah.
And everybody really liked the second album for the vocals.
Uh-huh.
How it went from heavy, the mixture of the album.
Uh-huh.
You know, it went from heavy to mellow, melodic stuff.
Uh-huh.
And that's the stuff I like the most. To tell you the truth.
Well, the stuff that we're doing is we're blending the real rocker kind of songs, and we have radio-oriented songs that we're trying to do, but they're not that wimpy. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
They've got that edge, and they've got the cool guitar parts. You know.
Right.
And we're just basically doing, we're just trying to please a little bit of everybody, you know, and ourselves.
Right.
You know, which is the bottom line, is we didn't care what, I mean, it's for us too, you know.
Right.
But the kids really matter to us too. That's why we're trying to keep that traditional rock and roll in there, you know.
Right, yeah.
As far as, when I say Zeppelin and stuff, we don't sound like Zeppelin. We bring back some of those moods that Zeppelin set in some of their style of music.
Right, yeah.
And some of that party mood that AC/DC sets in their style of music. And production-wise, so that kids can listen to the record on the headphones and hear really neat things going on as far as our intros and stuff like that.
Right.
Because we hired a real good guy to do some of the keyboard special effects, so to speak, on the record. And he did all the Roth albums. I don't have the guy's name right offhand, but we hired him to come down, and he's got literally a rehearsal hall filled with keyboards, and he's coming down, and he's going to do all our segues from song to song, like the little parts, weird sounds and stuff like that.
Right.
So there's going to be a lot of nice, interesting blends and stuff in this record, and textures when you listen to it. There's going to be a lot of things going on as far as panning left to right and different effects and the way we track things. And the guitar is really thick and really big, you know. And the best part about the record is that we can reproduce it live, you know.
Right, yeah.
And that's really important to us. We want to keep it raw enough so that it doesn't sound like there's too many people playing, you know.
Right, yeah.
Mark will play guitar live.
That's great.
And that's a definite. He will play guitar live.
That's good.
At least probably 4, maybe 5 songs he'll be actually playing guitar.
Wow.
So, 1 or 2 of them, we're going to come out with acoustics and stuff at one part.
That's good.
So as the record's going on, we're also visualizing the show and what it's going to entail, and we've come up with some really good parts that we can use as an audience participation part or a breakdown part. You know.
Right.
So, we're really getting a good insight on what this band is going to be like, you know what I mean?
Right.
The only thing we're having right now is problems with the names because we've already done 10 names and they've already surfaced being used.
Right.
So now we're at the point where we might actually even offer a band money for a name.
Wow.
None of which we've picked yet, but if we pick one that we really, really like and a band's using it, we might offer them some money because we're getting to the point where it's costing us more money. You know?
For searches.
By trying to surface these names because you have to pay a fee for every name.
Right, yeah, I understand.
So we're beating our head against the wall and we're freaking out. So especially you people at Kiss Klassics, that would be really ironic if you could come up with a name that could fit us.
Okay.
please feel free to call us collect. I mean,
right.
anything. We're open for suggestions for band names, and we don't have much time.
Right.
You know, and it's embarrassing. It literally is embarrassing for me to have to talk to you without having a band name. I mean, it makes me feel like shit.
Is there a name for the album?
That is, they're throwing some things around. Nothing that I want to bring up yet,
right.
so it's definite though. But
right.
we're definitely thinking in that direction as far as what we're going to name the record. It's either going to be a song title or something ironic.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but there's all of the lyrics. People are going to freak when they hear some of the lyrics, especially for Burning Bridges.
Right. Yeah.
Because it relates to times that it's not a pointing your finger at Vinny, but it relates to times that they had with Vinny.
Right. Yeah.
And it's very interesting, and I think you're going to get a kick out of it when you hear it. There's a little rap section in the middle that you'll really laugh like hell about, that Mark and Dana put together. That's just such, oh God, when you think about it and the meaning that it, you know, what it could mean.
Right.
You know, I'm
yeah.
not saying it does mean.
No.
That,
Right.
we can get sued.
Yeah.
We put it in third party. I mean, it's directed at him, but it's not.
Right.
Directed at him. You know.
Right. Yeah.
It could mean anyone.
Right.
But when you hear it, you'll know who it is.
Yeah. What kind of record deal did you guys get?
Okay, we have a 3-record deal with Chrysalis Records.
Oh, that's good.
And we have an option after the third. It's basically a leading member option that Mark received.
Right.
When he was in Vinny, they decided that they didn't want to be in his band anymore, and the record label decided they didn't want Vinny anymore.
Right.
So they asked Mark if he was interested in the leading option deal, and he picked it up.
Wow.
And then here we are. So, you know, Mark and Dana have been, you know, getting everything together as far as our lawyer and everything else, and they did all this on their own, and they literally put this project together from ground up, and I really respect that, you know.
Wow.
So it's really going good. They've done a lot of hard work, and they're still continuing to work hard on this, and this means more than anything to them, because this is like, you know, this is a big chance for them, you know.
Right.
They can't blow this chance. This is like a big deal. This is my first project, so it's crucial for me, too, because it's my first record, so I'm treating it like, I mean, when we're doing tracks, if there's ever even something slightly off, we do it again, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Because we're being really, really picky. It's being tracked so well, it's sick. I mean, we've already blown the demos out of the water, and we haven't even done more than basic tracks yet, you know?
Right.
So we know, we have good feelings about the product. And everyone, as far as publishers go, I mean, these guys have been through so many top-notch publishers, and every publisher just loves the material hands down and wants to do a deal, you know?
Right, yeah.
So right now, they're just trying to land the best possible publishing deal as far as who's gonna produce, you know?
Right, yeah.
And so we've been getting nothing but positive, you know, about the material, and that's from other label executives as well as our own.
Right, yeah.
And that is, it's making our case stronger, you know, as far as other labels are concerned, you know.
Right.
It's creating a better buzz within the industry, you know.
Right.
And the kids are slowly but surely finding out about it, you know. We're getting little things, tidbits here and there, and we're friends with Jerry Miller also, and she's helping us out a lot also.
Right.
So between you guys and her.
How any endorsements yet?
Yeah, actually, Seymour Duncan's endorsing me. Doing something with Gibson right now.
Right.
And Mark's working with a company called Ritz Guitars that does stuff for Charvel. There's a possibility of him going with this company that made they made a guitar for him. It's 100% abalone, the body.
Right.
It looks like seashell, you know.
Wow.
It's very neat looking. It's really, really classy.
That's really cool.
He's not definite, but they've already given him one guitar, and he's thinking about, you know, if he's definitely going to do that or not, you know.
Right.
So I'm working out a deal with Gibson on some Les Pauls and stuff, and
right.
I might still go with another company that does some advertising though.
Right. Yeah. How about fan mail? Where can people write to you? Or the band, everybody. Or just you, either way.
Well, I think they were talking to some people there at Kiss Klassics about taking over the fan club.
Right, yeah.
So,
but Mark hasn't made a decision on that.
Oh, okay.
But if you want,
I will make him get back to you within the next day, okay?
Right.
Because that's really important to me too.
Yeah.
You know, now that you brought that up,
yeah, because a lot of people were asking, you know, I want to write these guys.
Uh-huh.
You know, because we had that little article, you remember, about the NAMM show, what Michael Gibbons did for us?
Yeah, uh-huh.
And we got, you know, some response on that, and they wanted to get in touch with you guys, you know, for whatever reason, you know, just fan mail and other stuff.
Well, you can give them my address for now, or, if you want to tell people, they can write to you.
Yeah, they can write through me, and I could just mail you down the mail.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, I would totally appreciate the hell out of that if you could do that.
Yeah,
but I'll talk to Mark and have him get in touch with you so we can clear the air on all that stuff and get things going.
Right.
With that, if you guys are going to do that, that would be great.
Yeah, because I don't know who he's going to go with, or, you know,
Uh-huh.
because it was between us and a guy named Philip Hunt.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know who, you know, he wants
to do it. Yeah, we haven't really been talking about that either, but it's a very valid point, and I will bring it up today when I see the guys.
Right.
I'll have Mark call you, man, because, I mean, I talked to him like 3 days ago. Remember the day I called you?
Right, yeah.
And we were going to call up from the studio, but he had to leave that day to go get his hair done.
Right.
So I said, well, look, dude, don't blow it off because we got to get in touch with this guy, and maybe we'll do like a three-way. A three-way conversation, so you can ask us both questions and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I sometimes I don't like to answer questions for Mark because he might have a different answer than I do.
Right. Yeah.
But I'll make sure he gets in touch with you. Like I'll see him today.
Right.
I'll go down there and we'll call from the studio.
How's Chrysalis been to you guys? I heard Chrysalis was sold.
Yeah, they just got bought out by Thorn EMI.
Right. So.
Actually, it makes things better because for one, now they have more money.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just got a lot of money from that deal.
Wow.
I think they landed it for $79.1 million. Wow. They still owe them over $25 million over the next 3 years.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot more money invested in the company, and I think we think that it's going to work to our advantage because they're really into this. We're the only rock band they have in this sort right now.
Right.
So
Yeah.
they're willing to make us a top priority.
Wow.
And as long as our management can work the label properly, we don't see any problem. And as far up to now, he's been doing a great job with them.
Right.
As far as getting them to do things seem to be rolling really good.
So that means they should give good push to the band. When
they definitely plan on it.
That's great.
I mean, the finances are there, and the will's there, and the know-how's there. So it's just we just got to hope our timing is right. That's our major concern right now is our timing.
Right.
And stuff like that.
Wow. That's pretty good.
So
sounds like everything's going great for you guys.
Yeah, we're really happy. We're really happy. Everybody's ecstatic right now. We're like on a cloud right now because things just are working out. Everybody's busy. Things are going real good. Dana's really happy with how everything's coming out. He's happy with the people he chose.
Right.
They're very impressed. With the fact that I just came in and I tracked so well for a record. I've never done a record before. And they were kind of thinking, wow, I wonder if this is going to work out. Someone that's never did a record, as far as recording in a studio and stuff. And things have been, we're ahead of schedule. We're actually ahead of schedule,
Right, yeah.
Instead of being behind. So that's great. As far as Dana's concerned, that's really good. He's happy.
Is there any kind of impact on you yet since, I know you haven't gone on the road yet, and this is the first time you'll be on vinyl, right?
Uh-huh.
So is there any kind of impact or feelings you have already since, joining this band?
Yeah, I'm very excited. I'm very happy for myself, and I have really good feelings about this project. I think that it's really going to do a lot better than everyone expects.
Right.
And not because of our image and our attitude, but because of the material that we're playing. I think the material is going to set us apart from most bands right now, from what's happening.
Right.
I really do. I mean, and this isn't just a biased opinion. This is just something. I mean, if I was not in this band and I heard this material, I would think it was great.
Yeah.
And I would want to be a part of it.
Wow.
So I'm excited, and it's my first major thing, and I'm a little nervous and apprehensive. I mean, there's a lot for me to live up to, and I have to go out there live, and I have to be hungry, and I have to prove myself every night, and I have to keep the kids happy, and we have to write good material. So there's a lot of pressure,
Right.
It's not easy. It's people think that you just get in a band and you write some songs and you do a record, but it's not like that. There's a lot of business involved. There's a lot of, you got to sit there after you're done and sit on the record and worry about other people that are working for you, making sure they're doing their job right.
Right.
It's not as easy as people think, and I'm a little apprehensive as far as wow, I hope people accept me live,
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
I just want to be accepted,
Right.
And I want to be respected, like any musician would want,
Right.
More than anything, more than the money or more than anything, I want to be respected by other musicians and other bands as well as the kids too.
Right.
That, for some reason, that means a lot to me. Probably because I'm a guitar player,
Right, yeah.
The guitar players are always worried about what the next guy's thinking,
Right.
It's like a typical six-string insecurity. It's what I call it.
Do you play any 12-string?
Yeah, we did. On the record also. We electric and acoustic 12-string.
Wow.
And Dana's actually putting 8-string bass parts on the record as well.
Wow.
We've been doing a lot of interesting things. It's pretty funny. I mean, I've used 55 Les Paul, 53 Les Paul, all really nice vintage Les Pauls and stuff to record the record with.
Right.
As well as Charvel Strats and custom Strats that I had made for me. And like I said, we went through like 8 or 9 different Marshall heads. And stuff.
Right.
Could you hold on for a second?
Sure.
Okay. Anyway, so
What do you think about the stage look?
The stage look,
Yeah,
we're going to go, I would think, from the way we've been talking lately, it's basically going to be a natural look, you know, maybe an Adidas type of top and some cool sneakers, you know.
Right.
You know, just a really natural look, and he wants to be able to relate to the kids. He doesn't want to have to, you know, put on a false image for anybody.
Yeah, no.
Because they did the glam thing with Vinny, and it was just totally not them, you know.
Right, yeah.
So this time around, we want to do us.
Right.
You know, we want to be us.
Right.
You know, we just want to be, you know, like, you know, I'm gonna wear, you know, boots and stuff, and like maybe a cool jean type of vest with some things on it and stuff,
Right.
you know, just a natural look, you know.
No pink
More like
wigs.
a Def Leppard look, or a, you know, just
Right.
a normal look, not like leather and chrome.
Right, yeah.
Definitely not leather and chrome. Definitely
Right.
not glam with real bright, you know, silky kind of clothes and lots of makeup. Nothing like that.
Right.
You know, just like a standard rock and roll look, you know.
Right.
Like a street look, but a little better.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
Just like a step up, you know, so that we look like somebody, but not that, you know,
Right.
we want to be able to, you know, because we're just like the kids, you know what I mean? We don't want to act too much like we, you know, we live this rock and roll life, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And we dress a certain way when we're doing our rock and roll thing anyway, so we figure why stray too far from that live, you know?
Right, yeah.
And you know, we want to have a good stage set up. I'm sure it depends on who we tour with, of course.
Yeah. Who do you want to tour with?
I would love to tour with someone like Motley Crue or
Right.
a big band that's going to help out the band. You know, I would rather do us and one other band type of tour than a 3 thing, like, you know, like Cinderella, Bolt Boys, and Winger are doing.
Right, yeah.
I'd rather do like a Motley Crue, you know, and an opening act than
Right.
a Bullet Boys, Cinderella, Winger tour.
Do you plan on club or arena?
Well, we're definitely going to do the stadium thing first off. We're going to get hooked up with a major tour. Last
Right.
year they did the Maiden thing, so it's going to be as good or better. And because of the fact that our manager Bud Carr was an agent first, and he used to book Queen and Kansas for
Wow.
7 or, you know, I forget how many years, but I mean, he knows everyone in the business as far as agents and booking companies. So we will definitely be on a major tour of some sort.
Wow.
I can definitely say that. I don't see us doing a club tour.
No?
No, definitely not. I mean, there's a possibility of, once we get hooked up to a major tour, doing like 3,000 seaters and stuff here and there.
Right.
But I don't see us going out and doing 3, 4, 5,000 seaters for a few months and then doing a major tour.
Right, yeah.
I see it, you know, the other way.
Right, yeah.
That's another reason why timing is of essence for us. We want to make sure that we're out at a good time as far as other bands.
Right.
And we feel, because we're doing our record now, that we have a real good chance in hell at getting out there with a good band, because of the fact that a lot of bands aren't out right now.
Right, yeah.
You know, so hopefully there's going to be a lot of good things coming up. Kiss would be great.
Right.
To go out with Kiss, or any good major band that does real well would be the best for us, of course. I mean,
Right, yeah.
We would love to go out with anyone like that, but we're really excited, and you know, I don't know who we're going to go out with, but it's going to be a big deal to me. You know, it's
Right.
like, oh my God, I can't wait to go to Philly. It's going to be like, that's what you know, I told those guys. I said, look, when we're in Philly and Jersey, you guys give me all your tickets and passes. When I'm in Vegas and LA, you can have all mine.
Right, yeah. Right, yeah.
You know, because of course you guys would all get, you know, tickets and passes and stuff. But all my friends from Philly and stuff, I got to have them out there. You know?
Right, yeah, I understand.
You know, plus people from the Empire Rock Room and all that too. I want to get some of those band type people out there and
Wow.
and the Metal Wolves and the bands like that. You know.
That's a really popular club.
Yeah, the Empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played there so many times there in the Galaxy before I came out. I thought that's where I was going to end up, you know.
Wow.
And everyone in Philly said, dude, you're a nut. Cinderella's going to happen, you know. Brittany Fox is going to happen. You know, you shouldn't leave. You should stay here. You're going to do something here, you know.
Right.
And I was just so sick of the situation there, you know.
Right, yeah.
All my friends turned into losers. Everyone was doing speed and shit, you know.
Right.
And I just wasn't into it anymore. I was like, no, man, I got to get out of here.
Wow.
So I came out here, you know, and it's been nothing but uphill all the way. I've been here for 4 years, and I've been in bands all the way along, and I've been doing real well for myself, and And then I landed this, so I'm happy. You know, I'm glad I didn't stay in Philly. You know, even though I like it there, I'm glad I came out here to try to do this. You know.
Right. Yeah.
You know, maybe someday if I make a lot of money in this business, I'll get a place in that area.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
as far as a place to live, because my parents live in Jersey.
Do they?
Yeah, they live. You know where Trenton is?
Yeah.
Of course.
Right.
They live in West Trenton.
Wow.
You know, like up along the river there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's where my parents live, and I like it there. I mean, it's real nice there and stuff, and I have a lot of friends in Jersey and in PA.
Right.
Because I've lived in Pennsylvania or Jersey my whole life, like right across the river from each other. I was born in Trenton, and I stayed there for 3 years, and then I moved over to Pennsylvania in a place called Yardley.
Right.
Okay, and I lived in Yardley for 19, almost 20 years.
Right.
You know, that was like the main chunk of my life, and then I moved back over to Jersey for like 2 years after I graduated high school with my parents and stayed with them in West Trenton, and then I moved out to L.A.
Right.
So it was weird. It was like Jersey, Pennsylvania for 19 years, and then Jersey for 2 more years, and now I've been here in L.A. for 3 3/4 years. You know, almost 4 years.
Right. Yeah.
And so I'm glad. It took me this long, but I got something substantial. You know, I got myself a good gig that I'm really happy with. You know. And this is, I got to admit, I honestly got to admit, this is the first gig I've ever had that I've really loved the music, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, but hands down, loved it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, every band I've been in, there's always been, a couple songs I've been like, oh man, this song isn't that good, you know?
Right.
Or this song isn't happening, but I enjoy playing every one of these songs, and they all sound like a band, like something, not some club band, you know? It doesn't sound local when you hear it, you know what I mean?
Is there any club bands you want to mention that you were in?
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. The bands that I was in, I have such bad feelings about that they don't deserve the mention. Period.
Even the L.A. bands?
L.A. bands.
Wow.
They do not deserve the mention.
How about Jersey bands?
Huh?
How about Jersey PA bands?
I was actually in Metal Wolf.
Were you?
Yeah, I was actually one of the original guys of Metal Wolf. My brother was the original singer.
Wow.
It was me, Jay. You know Jay, right?
Right.
It was me, Jay, and a guy named Rich Seeker played drums, and a guy named Wayne Martin played bass. Okay, and it was weird. We had a financial backer and stuff. This was the first band I was in out of high school, and we went up to Bangor, Pennsylvania, and we had this guy, and he backed us. His name was Chuck Taylor, and he backed the band, and we had a falling out. God, I don't know. Don't print this though.
Okay.
But we had a falling out with Jay because no one liked his attitude, me and my brother and everybody, and we couldn't stand. He had this L.A. God attitude, you know what I mean? I mean, we're talking about a guy that literally, when the first Ozzy record came out, because of the fact that he was in L.A. at the time when Randy Rhoads was in the town, he couldn't stand him, and he ripped the album up, you know?
Wow.
And we were like, yeah, what an asshole, you know what I mean? So anyway, Jay's personality started taking a toll, and he, we're upstate Pennsylvania, and he was, acting like a rock star.
Right.
And we couldn't take it anymore, so we said, look, we're not happy. We want out, we want this guy out, and we want to get a new guy, or we'll do it this way. And he says, look, it's all of yous or none of yous.
Right, yeah.
So we said, well, fuck it then, and we left all our gear and split. And then after that, Jay went back east and hooked up with a guy named Brant on drums, who was in a band with my brother at one time, the singer of Metal Wolf, the original guy. Okay. And then Brant started a band with him and another guy, another whole nother band, So then they started, since Jay, his nickname was The Wolf, okay? Because he was in a band called World War III. Okay, and Sledge, the guitar player from World War III, named Jay The Wolf. So that's where Metal Wolf came up. The original band was M-E-D-A-L, like Metal with a T. And then he switched over to Metal with a T. That was the Brant era. So the first 3 years was a completely different band, and then after that, he started the new Metal Wolf with Brant, and I guess Greg Reiter was the first guitar player that they had. So I don't know what they're doing. I think they're still auditioning singers, aren't they? Or do they just get Timmy from World War III?
I don't know.
I read somewhere that Timmy from World War III was going to do it.
Wow.
Do you remember him?
Yeah, I don't really remember him that much.
He's like a Bruce Dickinson kind of a guy. Like as far as his vocal ability, like what he sounds like and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think he's even been on the scene. Like I think he kind of dropped out of the scene for a long time, and I guess he's deciding to get back out again. But I was reading somewhere, I think it might even have been a Kiss Klassics.
Yeah?
I think it might have been the last Kiss Klassics that you sent Mark or something.
Maybe.
And it says Metal Wolf has found their new singer. And I remember laughing, saying, "Look, they got that Tim dude." And they're all, "Who?" And I was like, "Oh, you don't know. It's East Coast. It's East Coast jargon."
Wow.
You know. But yeah. So basically, Metal Wolf was like the band that I was in right there.
You don't want that printed, or you don't care?
I don't care if you want. You can print that. Jay and them guys will probably get pissed.
So what?
No, either that or they'll hope that my record gets successful and they can use that as publicity. You know?
Yeah, that's true too.
Huh?
That could help a lot.
Yeah, you never know.
Well, I know the last Invasion album's still getting a lot of airplay here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's going to be interesting for them guys to hear. I don't know if they know that.
Yeah, because they got that WSOU. You heard of that station?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they still play a lot of more like Love Kills and stuff. You know?
Yeah, that's a really good song, though.
Yeah.
You know,
they play that, Ashes to Ashes, Breakout sometimes, and, you know, it varies. You know?
Well, that's great that they're still keeping it alive out there, you know?
Right.
We were hoping that you know, people wouldn't. I don't think people were going to forget about Mark and Dane and stuff. You know?
Yeah, well, everything's really Mark now. It's even not like on the radio. It don't say Vinnie Vincent. It says Vinnie Vincent Invasion featuring Mark Slaughter now.
Yeah. Well, that's what the record label turned around and did. It made sure that everyone knew that.
Right.
You know, because of the Vinnie falling out. You know.
Right.
It's weird. It's hard to market this band too because we're not sure whether we want to put Mark Slaughter. You know.
Right.
Blah 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 band, you know, or whatever, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because it's a new band.
Right.
So it's not really fair to do that in a way, but then in another way, we don't want people to forget that it's Mark, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't know. But anyway,
okay.
I got to get going here.
Okay.
I've been on the phone here for a while.
Yeah. What do you just like at the very end? What do you want to say to all the new fans coming to see you?
I want to say, I hope you give us a chance, you know. Let me think. This is something I have to think about before I say. I hope you enjoy the material as much as you enjoyed the other things that Mark and Dana did. We feel it's going to be better than anything they've done so far. They feel the same way.
Right.
We need all the support we can get. We're doing this for the kids, first and foremost. We want them to be happy with what we're doing. And we want to hear from them. We want to hear about what they want and what they see in our band and what they like and dislike about the band.
Right.
We want feedback on this, This I can't stress enough as far as the kids go. We want to hear what they have to say about us.
Right.
If it's good or if it's bad, we want to know.
Right.
And we're gonna really give it our best shot. We can't wait to rock every city.
Right.
And have a great time doing it. That's what it's all about. And that basically sums it up.
Okay. I sent you down some letterhead that you'll probably get maybe tomorrow or maybe today. I don't know. And
well, the mail already came here today. I didn't get it today.
Okay, then probably tomorrow you'll get it or whatever. See if you and everybody could make messages on the letterhead. This way we could use it for a back cover.
Oh, like you did before.
Yeah,
we
could put
great.
Looking forward to see you on tour, the new albums kick ass, whatever you want to put.
Oh, great.
And we'll print one for each member on the back cover. This way it'll look great, and everybody, this will be the first message from every member of the band. So I sent you 10 letterhead or whatever.
Oh, good.
One for each member, and we'll put it right on the back.
Good. Well, I'll write you a little letter too besides that.
Right. So
cool.
every you should be getting letterhead any day.
Okay.
So
I'll make sure I send them right back to you as soon as I get it.
Right, okay, yeah, because the new issue should be out the first week in June.
All right, well, then I better hurry it up and get it back to you then.
Okay.
Great. I'll get it right back to you then.
Okay, thanks a lot for giving me a call.
I'll give you a call. I'm gonna have Mark. I'm gonna try to get Mark to call you today.
Okay.
And I'll talk to you then. If I don't, I'll talk to you tomorrow and let you know that I got the letterheads, okay?
Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, Brian.
Thanks for calling.
I appreciate your time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.